that going to hell would be much more entertaining because of the downward slope. Because you're going downward, so I mean, it'd be a lot faster, it'd be a lot more fun. So ideally, what if I could do what I would choose to do would be to somehow go to heaven, and right when I get to the top, assuming it's the same roller coaster, which I mean, like, realistically, like, there's not really that much of a budget for the afterlife. I mean, they probably share the same, like, general contraption to make it to one way or the other. I would just commit some kind of mortal sin, so as soon as I got to the top, I could get the full extent of the ride down to hell. You know, like, imagine God was just some kind of asshole who just sat there and was just like, oh man. Imagine if God was the person the Westboro Baptist Church, like, believes it is. Just a humanity-hating fucking asshole who just sits in his cloud office all day. He's like, oh God, just fucking, just another state-approved gay marriage. Oh, this is fucking horrible. I can't do this. I can't stand this shit. Oh man, he's got, like, Fred Phelps is dead now, which, I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna, that's great. That's awesome that he died. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just great. It's great that he's dead. I mean, a lot of people were happy when he was dead. I'm not gonna lie, I cracked a smile. I mean, fuck, like, you know, and he's probably God's secretary at this point. Him or Mary, you know, they switch up on days. And he's just like, you know, God, I mean, this guy right here he's not cut out for this. I would live a very moral life, you know, just for the sake of going on the ride at the end. Like, just live a really moral, great life, and at the end I would just be like, you know what? Get right up to the top and be like, you know, gay people getting married, I don't really see the problem with it. And he's just like, blasphemer! Send me down all the way, and I would just get to go on the entire ride, and that would be fucking outstanding. That would be great. And, like, let's be honest, like, if you've ever read, like, anything about the Bible or the Old Testament, let's be honest, like, everybody in here, if you even had, like, a moderately good time during your life, you're probably going to hell. Like, I mean, even if you had, like, even kind of an alright time, like, it's probably done for you. You're probably over. But, I don't know, you know, a lot of people, when most of us die, a small contingent of people care, and that's cool. But a lot more people care when celebrities die. It's a big deal when celebrities die. Joan Rivers just died. Rest in peace. She's one of the funniest people ever. Honestly, you know, the respect for the dead thing, I can't really hang with that. I can't really hang with that. I really don't understand. There's a big double standard with it, especially with Joan Rivers. Like, you know, Joan Rivers actually, her dying wish was to be cremated, but the Environmental Protection Agency they just came in and they were just like, listen, all right, like, Fukushima's enough. Like, okay, we can't release that much plastic fumes into the atmosphere. It's just gonna hit the ozone in the gut. Global warming's gonna fucking fast forward another 5 years, and she's gonna be like, oh no, we can't do this at all. But on the plus side, the plastic recycling industry is at an all-time high, and every child should be able to get at least a medium-sized plastic toy for Christmas this year because of Joan Rivers. So thank you for that. Thank you, Joan. Really appreciate that. But there's a real double standard, because if you're an asshole and you die, even if you're famous, it's like when Hitler died, there probably wasn't anybody in a room, you know, somebody talking at maybe a party or something. Like, yeah, I realize it would be a really weird fucking party. They're just talking about the Holocaust and Hitler, like, oh, this is such a horrible thing. Talking about this, and somebody maybe cracks a joke. It's like, oh, you know, Hitler probably had some kind of small dick problem, and that's why he was such an asshole. And there would be somebody in the corner and be like, yes, please have respect for the dead. I really shouldn't be making jokes. Nobody would ever do that, because the person in the corner would probably have a huge swastika tattoo on their face and a lifetime of bad decisions to go along with it. So, I don't know about all that, man. I don't know about the face tat thing. There is no starting on that. But yeah, Share a Coke. You guys all know about the Share a Coke campaign. Can you imagine if somebody started putting dead people's names on the Share a Coke campaign? Just imagine a bunch of fucking teenagers just drop a bunch of acid, like buy a 12-pack of Coke on their way home. They're sitting in there listening to Joy Division's zone you out. They fucking grab a Coke out of the 12 pack and says share a Coke with Ian Curtis. You better fucking hope that those ceilings are really low hanging and that there's no rope around, or the fucking the news the next day is gonna be grim. It's gonna be fucking bad. And you know, you might get on an airplane or something, you get served a Coke, somebody picks up the Coke, the first one says share a Coke with Buddy Holly, the second one says share a Coke with Aaliyah, all of a sudden you got people reaching for the fucking exits, just like, oh, shit, the Coke's fucking prophetic, we gotta get out of this fucking shit before it fucking goes crazy. It just loses their fucking minds. Yeah. Imagine, you know, there's like share a Coke with a buddy, share a Coke with a star, share a Coke with your soulmate. You imagine you're in any kind of public place whatsoever. You get a Coke and it says share a Coke with an asshole. You're at the mall, or you're like at work, or you're at something. Can you imagine what an extravagant fucking quest that would be? It's just like, oh, just looking around, you see like a dude with a Salt Life sticker on his car over there, and just fucking, just like, is he the one? Is he the one I'm supposed to get the Coke? Me personally, I would just look into a mirror and just drink it myself. And just fucking, it's like, this is what was supposed to happen. It all makes sense now. But you know, things are strange. I got a movie pitch. Just, you know, I had a movie pitch. I have a couple of movie pitches. I really have a lot. You know, you can't really account for taste or lack of taste. Moreover, because none of my shit has flown yet, you know, I've sent a lot of stuff, but there's nothing yet, no bites. But yeah, it'll happen someday. I got a really good movie pitch though. I got something great, and it's really Florida centric too. I feel like we could film it here, and it would be just great. It's a great R-rated movie, a dark. It's a kind of a biopic, but kind of not. And it's basically just picture like a pan-out shot of a nice beach in like Key West or something like that, and you got Jimmy Buffett. Alright? Jimmy Buffett's out there, and he's just, you know, enjoying his daily fucking regimen of margaritas and cheeseburgers. Jimmy Buffett, if you don't know, is a musician who has literally made a decades-long career out of making songs about cheeseburgers, boat drinks, fucking in between eating cheeseburgers and boat drinks, all of the things on either a beach or maybe in a motel or maybe on a yacht. I don't really know, but he's got a lot of songs. He's done a lot of things, and he's got his own contingent of fans. They're called Parrot Heads. So I mean, I think it really plays into it because, you know, what it would be is instead of the Parrot Heads just being fans of the music, Parrot Heads would be members of Jimmy Buffett's cult. Jimmy Buffett would have a cult, and it'd be a cult based on drinking as many boat drinks and eating as many cheeseburgers as possible to find the lost fourth strain of diabetes. Now, this fourth strain of diabetes is not one that makes you sick. This is one that makes you immortal. It makes it so you don't need insulin, you don't have to worry about anything, you're just coated with a wall of sugary goodness at all times. And I would play myself as Jimmy Buffett's best friend, because, you know, I mean, I gotta make an entrance for myself, you know, like it's just, being in Tampa, just, you know, it's working out, but it's not that great. So, you know, I could go with a movie career, that would be really nice. So I would be his best friend, we'd be rolling around in his cult, and we get a good shot, Jimmy Buffett, probably about like 60 minutes into this movie that, I'm going to be honest, I probably got maybe an hour and a half and probably 60 minutes of it is filler. So, you know, about, you know, 60 minutes into it, he's on his deathbed, he's sitting there, he's sitting in the hospital, he's got like a tray of margaritas next to him. He's got like, he's on his like 10th liver transplant at this point, and they got like just a box of like donated organs, because he's rich, so, you know, he doesn't have to wait. And also, just want to throw this out there in case Pixar is listening or watching, the idea of a movie of donated organs that talk and, you know, are alive. Like, you know, give it 10 years. They haven't run out of like animals or wildlife yet. But give it another 10 years and a couple more movies, and I think they'll be at that point. So they're getting the last liver, and this will be the cameo for that movie. So the livers will be animated by Pixar. I'll make sure that happens. And one of them just going, they just see the corner as they're being carried in, and they see the Hawaiian shirt and the tray of margaritas, and he's just like, oh no, I'm not going on a kamikaze mission. This is done. I'm rejecting myself. This is over. This rejects itself. So I'm on his deathbed, and Jimmy's just he's mumbling in drunk talk pretty much. He's just you can't really understand what the fuck he's saying. Someone can only drink so many margaritas before everything just goes to shit. He's just mumbling in my ear, and I'm mumbling down, what are you saying, Jimmy? Just talk to me. Oh, you want me to do that? Okay, alright, okay. I'll do it for you. He passes away, he croaks. And it's a sad situation. They have a nice Viking funeral for him. They have a really exotic, an exotic bird read his eulogy. It's a pretty short eulogy. It's just oh, Jimmy was a great man. Oh, he loved cheeseburgers. He loved margaritas. It was great. And when he goes ahead, he gets cremated. And they cremate him. And his dying wish is to be turned into salt. He just wants his ashes to be turned into salt so people can drink them with the margaritas that they so enjoy. So, they got a good pan-out shot. He has this good Viking funeral, his casket's floating away. Obviously not with his body, because that's being cremated, but just, a character of his body, maybe a bunch of, island fruits, made up, and, a visage of his corpse. Just, floats away, and you hear the, as he floats away, and this casket burns. Flash forward to about, a week later, this salt has been made. Everybody salts the rims of their classic margaritas, is about to enjoy them. Everybody sits around. Every Jimmy Buffet fan. See, I just said buffet. That's the fat kid in me going out. Jimmy Buffett. Sorry. Every Jimmy Buffett fan comes out, enjoys a margarita. The second the salt touches their lips, they just go into a catatonic fucking alcohol poisoning shock, just hallucinate. The amount of blood alcohol volume in his ashes just kills everybody instantly. They're all just foaming at the mouth. They're Jimmy! I'm coming home! I found your salt! Just fucking... And it's over. And really the only reason I would ever make this movie is so I could have just the end, not even the end, just the credits roll, and everything's great, but mainly the preview. The preview is what really matters. It's really what matters for a movie in Hollywood nowadays, if you really think about it. Just have the preview roll, and it's Jonestown doesn't have shit on Margaritaville. 2015, Jimmy Buffett comes to town. Alright, well, yeah, that's pretty much all I got, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah!